Hey everybody, that's Bust with Battles with Bust number 210, and today we're doing battle with the Warden of the Tribes. And so it's Warden of the Tribes, not the Warden of the North. Jon Snow not coming at us today, but this is a card I've been, kind of interested in since it was released. It's clearly on the casual end of the spectrum. A 9-drop unit that doesn't just immediately win you the game is not going to be a real constructed powerhouse, but I think it's something kind of interesting to look at. Like, I've been thinking of different ways to use this, whether or not it's with like War Mother's Call or with using it with the Poros. And kind of in the investigation, the space I think is easy to forget are the new keywords in Cultist and Weapon Master and Darken, right? It's easy to say, oh yeah, Poros, right? There's Poros in the picture. Like, it's easy to say, oh, Elnix, oh, there's that card draw thing that was the worst card in Expedition that lets you draw the top Poros, Elnix, and Poros off of your deck, or Poros, Elnix, and Yetis off your deck. There we go. But with the release of the new set, the spaces that I thought were kind of interesting were if we take a look at Weapon Masters, that's who we're looking to chase after today. We're using Jax and the Weapon Masters, so we have good early game stuff. But there's also things like Kayn, Varus, both of those being darken units, and then they give you access to the cultists as well. And so maybe after the next set is released and we get access to the darken Freylord equipment, we might look to kind of change our tune to playing Kayn or Varus, and then picking up the cultists from there, and then looking towards just the simple Weapon Master with the Combat Cook. But in the space right now, I kind of like this idea of bringing the Weapon Masters. And so for our keyworded or subtyped units, we're playing Jax as Weapon Master, Gnar as the Yordle. And then on the other ones, we have the Mighty Poro as the way to pick up Poros. We have Iceveil Cultist for Cultists, Ancient Yeti for the Yetis. I tried a little bit with some of the smaller Yeti package. Wasn't really happy with it. I was more happy with this early game Weapon Master style play that would help control the board and buy some time until we could get our big boy Warden of the Tribes on the board. Some more familiarity with this format. We are getting access to the Unforgiving Cold. We have loads of units to equip, so we can access this against the various Vayne decks. And then we also have Three Sisters as a combat trick plus Flash Freeze. Otherwise, a nice, useful variety collection of combat tricks between the Catch, Troll Chant, and Inner Beast that should hopefully help keep our improvised units alive until the Warden of the Tribes can come in for the big boom. And so the last thing I did want to say with this, as we do see in almost all of these formats, you have to be able to overwhelm, elusive, or rally, right? And if you're going to look at a unit like Warden of the Tribes, he himself has overwhelm, but it doesn't matter if you're giving all of your units +10/+10 if they just get blocked by your opponent's hapless aristocrat. So if you're looking to build around the Warden of the Tribes yourself, make sure that you have a way to actually punch in your units with either elusive, overwhelm, or rally. Here we're doing it with overwhelm, but if you're just boosting up a bunch of unit stats, you're not going to be able to actually go out and win a game. And so that's what we're doing battle with today. You know what we have to do before the battles begin, though. We have to go and pay the pay-to-win price. And that today is going to be through Catch. I'm surprised this one hasn't been leveled up yet, being in the lands of Demacia, the Radiant Strike version 1.5. But, it's ready now. It's good to go. And let's go ahead and jump on into these battles. So, Warden of the Tribes, not Warden of the North. We will not be visiting the wall, taking a leak over the wall as young, what's his name? Tyrion. There we go. Tyrion Lannister looks to do. I was actually thinking yesterday in terms of Game of Thrones and how it's been like so painful for people here in recent times to be absolutely devastated by the complete garbage end of a show. And I was thinking, I forgot about Lost. If you're on the younger end of the spectrum and you haven't watched Lost, it was a absolutely fantastic show. I still hold that the opening. The opening, I guess the pilot episode is the word I'm looking for. The pilot episode of Lost could hands down be one of the actual greatest episodes of television of all time. And then it just builds up into such a great show across 3 seasons is where I stopped. But it's interesting in that it had a lot of that kind of mystique and lore that Game of Thrones had built to it. It had a lot of backstory kind of building up along the way. And then at some point, the showrunners decided, oh man, I want to go and make a shitload of money, and so I'm not going to make this show anymore. I'm going to go make Star Wars movies. I don't think that they made Star Wars like the guys from what's it called? The guys from Game of Thrones got picked up on Star Wars, but I think J.J. Abrams and Damon Lindelof, they got picked up into. We want to make this equip? I think so. Our units should just be big enough with the Yeti next turn. But no, they started getting into the big movie industry. I forget what their movies were called, but kind of a similar trajectory. But man, that Lost was another one that was just like this big cultural event as it came to an end. And it was panned as just being completely ruined. It's it's tough, man. It's tough. What the fuck is this? That was a succession. I thought he played a remembrance. I was like, how did you get a 3/3 off of a remembrance? Okay. But not the worst things happening here. And if you can actually hear the sound, I can never tell for my viewers, but I think something messed up when the game was loading and the sound messed up along the way. I'll restart the game after this and see if that fixes it. But Lost, man, it was such a good show. Not the sea monsters, the big dust beast or whatever it was called, along with the oh man, there's just so much lore and the polar bears and everything. All this crazy shit all tied into it, and then gone, ruined, devastated, and destroyed. But here, I think we'll get a decent attack. Like, it seems reasonable enough to come in and just make a value attack into this combat companion. Like, let it either, pick up the block on the Poro and then just take a bunch of damage. And what I'm getting at is, like, I don't think I want to Unforgiving Cold this turn. We'll have to wait and see what opponent does. Just plays a succession. Right, if we say add Jax now, and then his thing is to block Jax with the 5/5, he puts the Dauntless Vanguard in front of our 5/2. He takes 3, 4, 5, 10, 14. That's just a lethal. I don't think we need to play towards the Unforgiving Cold this turn. Like, opponent's not in a spot to where he can play for value.
Let me change up my style. Try me, I dare you.
Lethal. What you got? Got some kind of spell. Gonna be a single combat or something, right? He's playing Aurelian Soul, doing the dragon thing. I guess he's not doing the dragon thing. He's been playing the units as spells, but I assure you it's going to be okay. At least, like, the big decent spot we're in here is if these decks typically, right? I'm not entirely certain what he's playing here, but if he wants to come in and play like a 6-cost unit, we're in such a good spot to just smoke that unit with the Three Sisters, right? We can entomb it, send it away, and not really worry about it anymore. And so it doesn't really strike me as the deck that's going to be like, here's a 2, a 3, and a 4, right? This is a deck that's just going to play a 7 or an 8. Omen Hawk should have the bird subtype. you gotta get on it, Riot. This has got to be one of these things to where, like, Wizards had to come back like 10 years in the future and retype all of the cards so that everything looked as it was meant to. And so you would have a card that was like a hound, right? And they would go and change the name to dog or however they were doing it. We'll have to have Riot come back, rightfully make the Omen Hawk a bird for all of our bird-related cards in the future. Alright, here, we should be fine. I don't think he can play something like Supernova or whatever the AoEs are. He doesn't have another Celestial in his hand, and so not really worried about what he's bringing here. Alright, he can have one now, but I guess the big concern with this space is him gaining 5 and then playing a Crescent Strike. I think we can still kill through that. But, let's see. Alright, that one didn't scare me. Yeah, it feels like we need to do so much more damage. Barely got him. Alright. GG, squad. Mark it a W for bust. All right, but yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch that episode 1 of Lost, and then come back and try to tell me that wasn't a fucking excellent episode of television. If you didn't like it, then you're an idiot. You know, just put it out there. You're dumb. And then after you've watched that one, and you said, "Wow, that was a fantastic episode of television." You watch the first season, you say, "Wow, that was a fantastic season of television." Let me know how far you make it before you come back and say, "This is too much. This is just abysmally terrible." Oh my god, come on, Riot, fix your fucking game. Oh my god. There we go. I think we're in one now. And so yeah, I think it's season 4 is to where I turned it on and I'm just like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. I tend to have like real problems with time travel. Time travel just really gets me. As you it's just like the plot line never works. I forget there's like as great of a journalistic source cracked.com was. They had this fantastic article on the concept of time travel and how it works and how it doesn't, and it basically works from the point of view of the observer, right? And so if I'm the one doing time traveling and I'm jumping around the world, going back and through time, and everything is from my perspective, then it makes sense. But if you're the one time traveling, and then that somehow affects my life, it starts to make less and less sense the more and more you get into it. And so it was something along those lines. I think it was actually an article about why a movie like Die Hard is believable, right? When you have a character like John McClane just going ham throughout the course of a movie, getting into insurmountable odds. It had something to do with the multiverses theory, and you're only seeing the perspective of John McClane when he actually makes it through, as opposed to all the other ones to where he just dies. All the other universes to where John McClane's just dead. Because that's what should be happening as he makes it through Nakamura Tower. But save that for another day. See what's going on here. I like what's happening with Tristana. Is he playing Ionia? That's the way we like to do it. Doesn't appear to be. We can win this Tristana battle here, though. She's probably worth killing. Oh shit, we can't even win the battle. Should have switched that around. Well, we couldn't have switched it around. We can at least get her to 1 health to where we can kill her with a pokey stick, but it's a little bit worrisome here. This is so bad if we try and go for the open takedown onto Tristana and then he's got a combat trick. But I mean, I think we have reasonable attacks here. We can catch an equipment onto one of our units if we need to. We can look to follow up with the pokey stick. If Tristana doesn't fall off the board, we still have the Unforgiving Cold for next turn. Like, I think we're okay. But there's no denying she has a pretty scary attack stat right now. Goes pokey stick. Not quite on board with that. So the Sandsworn Amulet gives us access to a point of health. Should be enough to survive the stick, get a level up. And we may be okay in the next turn. Like, the Unforgiving Cold, as it stands, is going to drop a point onto the Hungry Owlcat. Do we want to go ahead and like drop the stick to break the spell shield? Probably. Alright, but I feel reasonable with the Unforgiving Cold. It's going to frostbite this this Tristana down into nothingness. These impacts are a little scary, but we're pretty healthy in terms of health total right now. Gonna go with the Pot of Pain out of these. If we can now block a Wandering Shepherd or something, prevent some of this damage. Moonglow. Does he think he's gonna get us? I'm gonna let the Moonglow happen and then still drop the Unforgiving Cold in combat to take down this Tristana. That's a little not cool, but does get the other Tristana out of his hand. You're being a little not cool there, bro. A little not cool. It's better than being big, not cool, I guess. A little better. A little better.
Won't need tools for this.
All right, so let's see where we can get. We've got a good collection of dudes on board. Interesting picking up the catch now. We can potentially throw a Fish of Whack onto a unit. See where that gets us. 4 damage Tri-Beam we can't do anything about, though. Gotta stop and be curious if we can't just outright win the game now. Oh, we don't have the mana. I was like, the angle I was looking for was to Unforgiving Cold, frostbite the 2 big boys, and then hit with a fearsome, but not quite in the cards. Can do it now, but his blocks are all garbage. Can't get a lethal. Okay. See what we can do. Maybe we'll draw something cool next turn. I was hoping for the Warden of the Tribes, but didn't quite turn up. one can dream, one can hope. Oh dear. We got him again. Got him again, guys. Pretty cool. Alright, go into full damage mode. Unlocked. We got our Fearsome, we got our Overwhelm, we got our Impact. Damage bros ready to damage. Okay. Get around that. Fearsome boy's ready to do his thing. Oh shit, wrong card. Where'd it go? Oh, we played it last. Shit, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Gosh. I thought we still had our big spell. Apparently not. I think we're still okay here though. We're short of the lethal via the fearsome, but adding in the Yeti with the opportunity to throw a catch onto the Yeti, or just a +1/+1 onto the Hookmaster if we need to. Hopefully leave us in a lethal space.
Hey, stop that.
Game says lethal. Got him. GG. Next battle. So some more big news in the world. If you're new around these parts, you're not familiar where the name Bust comes from. If you take the old moniker I used to use on the interwebs, Butt Stuff 420, take the first couple letters of butt, first couple letters of stuff, that gets you to bust. And I kind of figured if we're starting up the YouTube channel and stuff, and if you ever want to get monetized, you probably can't use the name Butt Stuff 420, and I just shortened it up to Bust. And so the people in the know were aware of the old name. I still use it on occasion, as with, say, Marvel Snap. And so I recently just got banned from Marvel Snap. Apparently, Butt Stuff 420, not an appropriate name. And instead of doing some kind of name change or reset or whatever, they just banned the account. And so we'll see. I've contacted their support. That's the way that it's set up right now. Is it's weird. If you open it up in the app and if you open it up on PC, it's a little bit different. But if you open it up in the mobile client, it then loads up some kind of like chat thing, and then the chat thing auto fills in need to appeal ban or something. I don't remember what it was. And then that just points you at a Google Doc. And so it's like you have to go to this Google Doc and then tell it what your current name is, buttstuff420, and then what you would like to change it to. And then that's apparently how you get your name changed, get your access back to the game. We'll have to see. I assume they'll let me play it again at some point, but it's like I don't care about the $10. Like if they just say, you're done. You can't play our game because of this, and I've only spent $10 on it for a season pass. I don't really care, but it's like I will not restart again. Like with the way that the game's set up, and everything is like time gated, and it's taken like however many weeks it is for me to get into like set number 2, and I'm nowhere near set number 3. Like I just have zero desire whatsoever to go and like regrind all of that stuff. And so we'll see. Like if I'm done with Marvel Snap from this point forward, I'm not going to be like really upset about it, but it seems just like such an odd way to go about the game. Like I know with like Legends of Runeterra, they tried that right at the start, right? They did that thing to where if you wanted to buy the specific cards, you couldn't. You could go to the shop and buy some wild cards, but it was set up to where everything was tied to the weekly vault, and within the weekly vault, you would get random champions, and then the idea was that as you play along for so long, then you get to unlock the rest of the champions. And so I given that both Second Dinner and Riot did the same thing, I'm sure that there's been some kind of like market research invested into determining like how people will pay for this, and like the best way to get people addicted to your game and the best way to get them to spend the most money. Like having seen both companies do it at this point, I'm sure that that research exists. The backlash was huge within Runeterra, and so they changed it quick. But I'm curious to see if Second Dinner sticks with the game plan of saying, well, you can't have this, you can't have nice things, or if they fold at some point and switch to something different. Now, Marvel Snap does have a lot more of the addictive qualities of the it's not a loot box system, but the addictive qualities of coming into the game and pushing all the buttons and getting a reward for pushing the button and flashy things turning up. Like it is definitely well tuned in terms of trying to accumulate all of your time and hit those happiness sensors, or whatever the correct term for these types of ideas are. But I'm quite glad Runeterra didn't take it to that extreme. All right, but let's see what's happening with opponent here. So in like the upcoming turn, the idea is we're going to try and punch in as much of this overwhelm damage as we can. We can like Gnar stun something. I think I'm looking to just say do this. We can Shepherd's Authority, our smallest one. I don't want to get like overly invested in our bigger units here, and we'll just try and strengthen up our weaker ones. But yeah, in terms of the naming and companies, I didn't in the Xbox days. I haven't logged onto Xbox in like 15 years, but I used YOLO Booty Time then, and then I transferred YOLO Booty Time into the land of Riot, and then that was what I used for a large portion. I can't remember if the name on Teamfight Tactics is still YOLO Booty Time or if we use Butt Stuff 420 there. I'm pretty sure I use Butt Stuff 420 uh, on Teamfight Tactics, and so that should spread across the Riot world. Here we use FTP Bust, but I think that's the case. And then I know, my gosh, why are you playing so many more powders? Oh, from the Song Spinner. I know that. Let's see, on Blizzard clients, I 100% use Butt Stuff 420. I'm 100% positive that's my name there. Pretty sure it is on Teamfight Tactics. The fuck is all this stuff? Over on Wizards of the Coast stuff, I know Wizards promptly banned Butt Stuff 420. They said they didn't like make it awkward though, right? They just renamed me to like Player 23479 or something like that, and said if you want to change your name back, then contact support. And so, not quite sure who else we've used that name with. Oh, Steam. Steam is happy with it, and so, you know, kind of is what it is, as they say. Is what it is. Let's see what we can do here. Let me focus on this game real quick. We have a wallop to stun down something if we need to. It seems like we're in a pretty promising space here between the wallop and then potentially using the inner beast to get some bonus damage in. I don't think we're going to die here, or we're going to lose here, but never know. We'll see what opponents got in store for us.
Show me what you got. A duet? Heck yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let. All right, I'll play Wallop first. It's like I don't want to advertise everything that we have. We could just let the damage go through and then try and kill with Pokestick, but opponent could kind of drain out of that. And so I think we could. The other thing we could have done was I think we should have done was play the Inner Beast first, and then if opponent wants to come in and Vengeance. He didn't have the mana for it, but if he wants to play like the removal spell, yeah, he did. If he wants to Vengeance our Gnar, then we still get to kill Seraphine in that other combat, to where if she's stunned, then she still gets to stick around and cause problems later on. But got the victory anyways. So yeah, I was trying to think. Riot seems to be okay. Blizzard was okay. Steam was okay. Wizards of the Coast not okay. And Second Dinner, not okay with Butt Stuff 420. And so, get with the times, my friends. Get with the times. It's okay to say butt. Weed is almost legal everywhere. President Joey B said we're not gonna arrest people for that anymore. He did something. He expunged a bunch. Oh, he expunged the federal non-violent marijuana offenses, and so. Do that. The president says it's okay. Get with the times, Disney. I assume that's where it comes from. Is Disney? Shit, we should have played the bigger Jax. Disney worries about their IP being associated with a marijuana reference. It says no, no sir, no sir, get that out of here. But those of you in the know what's up, know what's cool. Know where the old name Bust comes from. It's good stuff. You're welcome. You're welcome for being a part of the joke. glad I could get that to you. All right, can't take down the Elkin. Go ahead and skip over this one. We can try and deal with it next turn. If we have to Inner Beast and cast away into it, I think that's okay. Anything interesting turn up here? No. I wish we had our bigger Jax on board. That would have been kind of useful. Talking about my inappropriate username and getting distracted and stuff.
Very well.
I think I'm gonna just let this Jax die. He's not really doing anything, and we have 2 more in hand. I'm not amped about going for the barriers at this point. So let's see. We'll add Omen Hawk. One thing to take note of here is if you equip Light of Acacia to something, so if we say put the Light of Acacia on our Omen Hawk, and then later decide to play Jax, Jax will steal the weapon back. With the auto-equip, he pulls it directly onto him. But you gotta watch yourself a little bit in that sense. Big Overwhelm. All these equipped bros get the Overwhelm. Feels good. Feels good. All right, I'm gonna boom.
Hope you stretched. You're gonna want to watch this.
Oh, we would have forged here. We could have saved the +1/+1. Opponent could have catch or something here to interact poorly with our Jax. It would have been nice if we could have taken the catch and weakened up his stuff, but this is okay. He does have this giant Demacian steel, though. We'll have to we'll have to deal with that at some point. Well, I guess it was useful to a degree that we made big Jax. Take the flip here. Don't get the kill onto the unit, but in blocking, it now dies to all of our units, and then we also get the Jax flip, so he's going to get a bonus when he attacks next turn.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Don't think we're going to have the time to get the cultist down, though. It doesn't feel super productive. All right, squad coming in. Short of the lethal, which is problematic, but it doesn't feel like a spot to where we want to give the opponent the opportunity to put stats on the board. We got to get him with this stance swap. We're going to 1 damage AoE something, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be beautiful. I wonder if he ever starts just like tumbling this vein at us. Right? I mean, he's got, how big is this? +5/+5/+4/4, make her a 7/7. That shit's annoying. Can't get our Jax quite big enough to get in front of the big harpy. But it's not attacking this turn. We can at least stall for a little bit. We're just going to have to try and win on an open attack next turn. Can't give him the chance to retumble with the harpy. So it's like, we do have blocks though. We can block it with Omen Hawk. We're going to put 2 units down. As long as we can run into next turn, should be okay. This would be a prime spot for having having either a Three Sisters or an Unforgiving Cold. Prime spot.
Rather be sailors, but this looks fun too.
Okay. So this is fairly manageable.
Their pain.
Just going to take this one. We'll block the next one. Then we're going to be able to also put the Pan of Pain on our cultist so it has Overwhelm as well.
Pots are boiling. Come and get it.
Now, the real question is, how worried are we about blocking that combat cook with our cultist? It has the potential for failure, right? If he's got a way to give +1/+1, right? If he has a catch, then we're gonna really be hurting on that. And so I'm gonna block it, but we're gonna block it with a smaller unit. This way, we should at least leave a bunch of damage on this thing, right? Gonna have one more attack, and then we're gonna have to try and kill with the cultist next turn. Okay. He's gonna tumble. But it does leave the harpy at. I don't know how that interaction actually works with our overwhelm units hitting the harpy with 1 health. If it takes the overwhelm damage then heals, or if it heals before the overwhelm goes through.
Let me change up my style.
Doesn't matter, bringing it. Game says lethal, that's all that matters, right? He's gonna have a condemn or something. In my experience with this patch, opponent always, they don't physically play condemn, they just always have the second vein. So, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Alright, get yourself a spatula. Get boomed right to the dome piece. GG.
Gotta keep that light burning.
We're gonna play a Warden of the North before it's all said and done. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's gonna come down at some point. Maybe against Freylord Echo here. Alright, reasonable enough curve. Reasonable enough collection of bros. Got our Poro, our Yordle, our Yeti. Let's see what happens. Sure. Call your shot. In with the pot of pain. So you're not taking me down with a mystic shot. There he is. Can we get to turn 9? Get to turn 9, we can do it. We got our shot. We got our dude. Look at that. He's ready. He's ready. Some kind of dragon thing with poros on it? I never unlocked the picture. I guess it's not a dragon. It doesn't have wings. Now, I may be wrong in this. I thought I was right in my terminology, but there's a dragon, right? A dragon has 4 legs. Then there's, I believe it would be a wyvern. Is wyvern the right one? Is to where it's a dragon, only has 2 legs, right? It has 2 legs, doesn't have the front legs with the claws, but it has the back legs that it can kind of sit on. And then there's a worm, which is like a flying snake. It has no legs attached to it. I think that was the correct way to go about it, and I'm pretty sure that in the last season of Game of Thrones, since that's all we're talking about these days, that they used the wrong word for the dragons that they were using. Now, one of you nerds that plays Dungeons and Dragons can let me know, but I'm pretty sure that that's the way that it all went down, that went about. I started saying stuff like that towards my wife, and her eyes just kind of glazed over, and so I was like, I guess we're not having this conversation, but I think I'm right. I'm rarely wrong, and so I can't remember the last time I was wrong. It was probably in the previous video when I did the Darken equipment in the wrong order, but the Shadow Isles equipment, we killed off our unit instead of equipping the unit, got it backwards, but that was probably the last time. But before that time, I can't remember the last time I was wrong. Probably never happened. Looking pretty good on this board, though. I assume he's going to block one of our 3/3s with his Imperfectionist. We control chant through it, and then Pokey Stick the Imperfectionist down next turn. I'm all good with that. I assume he's probably going to drop another unit on the board here sometime, and so also makes me feel pretty decent about our actions on the turn. The Shock Blast is a little annoying, but Not the end of our day. Just won't be attacking with Gnar. So we'll definitely get the flip out of this. Got that damage to face. Gnar says, that was nice. Let me flip for you, bruh. The Poro comes right back. Nice. We might get there. We might get to turn 9 in this one. I'm not going to play it slow. I won't do that. But I think there's a real shot that we don't win on this next attack. And then we're able to take the game down to turn 9. We'll see. I'm going to throw my block down here. We have 2 ways out of this, right? The Three Sisters or the Wallop. I think I would rather just spend the Three Sisters so we can try and get the Echo off of the board. Get boomed. Take that to the sump or wherever it is you hang out. Alright. So are we going to open? That's the big question, right? Is this lethal? Okay. Gotta go for the lethal. We'll see if he has a flash freeze or something, a harsh winds to try and come and get out of this. I think that's all okay. Troll chant, sure. Let's make sure, try and make sure our Yordle sticks around for the next turn. Let's wallop dum-dum here out of combat. Oh shit, that takes us back to lethal. Oops. Oops. I was just playing to protect my Gnar so we'd have a bigger Warden of the Tribes, but turns out this makes it lethal as well. More Troll Chance, cool. Take him to 1. Feeling good about it. We're going to get it. Oh, this is going to be sweet. Don't concede, guy. Mr. Guedes, don't concede.
This all we got? Hey, I've done more with less.
Oh, this is going to be sweet. Feeling good. We got Weapon Master, Yordle, Yeti. He's unnamed. And we have Poro. So we're going to get +4/+4 to everything. Ooh, this is going to be choice. Can't wait. Are you excited? The tension is building. It's rising. It feels good. Oh, man. The Troop of Elnix. I love it. Oh, man. Nice. Nice. I don't feel like that's enough to get victory, so we get to play our cool cards next turn. What's this thing? Start a free attack? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Are we dead? Uh-oh. We might be dead. That's not good. That's not good. I don't want to be dead. He's gonna get... We gotta block 1 more. Oh, man. Now when he attacks with everything, are we just dead? Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Mr. Guedes, you weren't supposed to take us down like this. Okay. It's a free attack, right? He's still got his attack token. I want to say some people don't like to have fun, but Mr. Guedes there certainly knows how to have fun. I approve everything that you just did. Between the Troop of Elnix, the Parallel Convergence. That was good stuff. Props to you. This guy, though. Somebody call the fucking fun police on Alex XXXX. You can already tell this guy's just gonna be lame. You can already tell. Just call your friends. Let them know. It's right on course, right on track for what a lame person would be doing. You say, Alex, XXXXX, what did you do for fun this weekend? I played chess by myself. Oh. Did any of your friends invite you to play? Yeah. What'd you tell them? No. Oh. Was there some kind of online community or local event that you could have gone to and interacted with? Yes. Did you do it? No. Oh. Why did you choose to play by yourself, Alex? Because I'm the best in the world. Oh. There's no reason to play anyone else because none of them are better than me. Got it. I understand. Alright, the old fan club president. I can't wait for Wednesday. God, just get this shit out of here. Nerf it to oblivion. Make fan club president cost like 9 mana. Just ban Seraphine. Get this shit out of the game. Can't wait. Makes sense. Not quite sure why you played it immediately and let us know before combat, but to each their own. All right, let's just go big here. I'm gonna get the castaway going. We're gonna get Jax going. We can play a catch in the middle of combat. See what happens here. Concussive Palm's fine.
Sword, old faithful.
And we're gonna attack with everybody. We'll see what they do, but I want to make sure that we get at least 1 point of damage in to get our Gnar to flip. So the Omen Hawk attack lets us do that.
Attack is obvious.
Oh, you sound great.
Oh, not Three Sisters. Alright, take down the Seraphine. Looks like a pretty decent turn otherwise. Steel Tempest. Sure. Got our point of damage in, though. Didn't lose out too big on board either. We lost the 1 unit, but we get the equipment back. The equipment is good on the Cultist. We can catch it. Well, if we still had catch, we could catch the equipment onto the board to get a surprise overwhelm in there. Some neat stuff you could do with that, but didn't quite play out that way.
Gotta hear that one again.
Let the matriarchs and their legends die.
All right, Cultist, you're on the board. Oh, cool. Free Ezreals. I love seeing that come up. Got a kitty wanting to hang out. Oh my gosh. Oh. There we go. Here it is. You want to see this, guys? You want to see it? You want to see what's about to happen on the internet? Of course he does. Of course. What kind of question is that? Oh.
Any takers?
All right, let's give it one of these. Here comes the big squad. See if he's got any more stuns for us. A lot of times these decks just play 1 copy of each of these cards to activate their Seraphine easier, so not super likely he's going to play more Steel Tempests. He could be playing additional Concussive Palms, though. We attacked in the wrong order here as well. We should have put our Jax over to the right. We're not going to have enough equipped dudes to make it matter, but a little sloppy. A little sloppy, wasn't it, bud?
That was great. Now let's really bring it.
All right. He's going to try and drop this Homecoming on something, and then we'll just Entomb to counterspell it. Sounds good, bro. Oh, health potions. Oh, great. How far away? We still got lethal. 23 into 20. Doesn't matter how much you heal. How bad are the high notes? So if we have 7, 15, 20, losing out on the Poro is not a big deal, but we can Three Sisters in more damage. Where are you at, Fury of the North? got him. Get that shit out of here. GG. All right, next battle. Feels good to beat those stupid decks, doesn't it, kitty? Sure does. Out here playing Warden of the North against this dumb shit and still winning. Oh my gosh, is this going to be round 2 against the Elnix? Round 2. Did not expect to see this deck ever, but twice in like 3 or 4 games. Don Sexy. Oh my gosh, you are right up there on the list. Talk all the trash about that last guy you want. You can tell him how not fun he is, but Don Sexy. I bet this is going to be great. Oof.
If it's a people problem, I'm your man.
All right, Hookmaster, what you got for us?
Sometimes you're the fish.
Little pan of pain. Not ideal, but whatever. What do you have? Do we want the amulet? Assuming this guy's playing the same deck as the one before, it's like we do have to worry about some 3/4s coming in. Let's still just go with the amulet. It at least makes him... no, it doesn't make him as big as I want. I was going to say, at least lets him survive a 3/4, then that was just completely wrong. But if he doesn't specifically have that 3/4 Elnick, I think we're okay.
Come on, where's the competition?
Come on!
All right, and then I guess the thing, like, we'll have to see how the combats go. If we get the opportunity just to take his stuff off the board, then I think we'll be happy to do it. The thing we're going to have to kind of watch for is if we can, like, Three Sisters and Troll Chant down his units whenever he tries to play that expensive spell that copies everything. I mean, he hasn't played a Parallel Convergence. I don't think we have to worry about that. We are going to have to worry about a troop of Elnix coming down next turn, though. But, I mean, I think we're decently set up for the troop. Like, say we play Poro, put Pan of... Oh, we can't play Pan of Pain at this point, but if we drop the Poro and then Troll Chant, we can stop some of these.
Lefty Lucy.
You are not paid.
He's got more cards. This is going to be Mystic Shots. This is not what I was expecting. But I think one of the time periods I'm probably pretty glad we didn't play in Constructed was when the Elnix deck was good. If you're not new and fresh with the game, there was a point in time when Troop of Elnix used to look at the top 10 cards of your deck. And so there were a lot of very popular control decks that just played troops, it played bulls, and then it didn't really play any other units. And then it just played a control deck front from that point forward. And it was apparently quite good. My problem with the troops and all of this is that if... these games have been fine, but when we were looking at it from the standpoint of playing Expedition, it was like, what situations do you come in to where both players have fun, right? And if you're playing the Troop of Elnix deck, and you play the troop and just miss, then you're not having fun. If you're on the opposite side, right? If you're playing the Troop of Elnix deck and you just hit for the completely full board, the game's just done, so your opponent's not going to have fun with that either. No one got to enjoy that game. But if you play the troops and then just say hit a bull, that was kind of like the extent of where both players could be having fun, right? You didn't go super overboard on what you were able to do, but you didn't really achieve what your deck was trying to pull off. And so, I mean, it kind of feels okay, but it doesn't feel great, I don't think. And I think that was ultimately the problem with the troop, and they nerfed it down to 6 cards. It hasn't really seen any competitive play since. I think to a degree you could probably ask yourself the same question of cards like Seraphine. There are a lot of people that really enjoy playing Seraphine. As you scroll through Twitter, there's always a handful of people that are like, this is the best meta ever. I love everything going on with this. But, you know, it's not a one-way street, and I don't feel like we're really in a space to where everyone is really enjoying this meta. And so I think that's you know, fairly on-point analysis. All right, let's see how on point this analysis is. Need the 7 on here. Got a 5 down here at the end. And then I think, well, we have to just flash freeze. That's all we have the mana for. So we can give it one of these. That looks pretty good. Pretty good for the home squad. We've got 4 mana left. Or we've got a bunch of health left. We're killing 4 of his units, losing 0 of ours. Not bad. Got him. GG. But I'm curious to see the patch notes. They should be out here soon. See how things go. But, Seraphine nonsense aside, we're approaching our final battle. Battle number 8 coming for us. Beautiful. I was just hoping to play against some more Seraphine. Beautiful. Bring it upon me. That's what I wanted. All right. Well, mulligan away Jax. He just dies to Mystic Shots in these spaces. He comes right back, though. He says, I'm going to be pivotal in this game. Don't try to get rid of me, bro. Say, all right. All right. So, man, this is going to be sad. I'd have to say that there's like a probably like a 2% chance of getting to play a Warden of the North and having it matter against a Seraphine deck. And so, well, we'll try. We'll see what we can do. But I don't think our Warden of the Tribes is going to come down and do his thing. Sad day. All right, Hookmaster in. Get that pot of pain. Let us survive those Mystic Shots. I think we want to go Poro here. It just naturally wins. The kind of things that we'd be looking for here would be like the quick attack equipment, the +2 attack quick attack, so that if we wanted to play our Castaway, we could attack with it, but then it just dies to Mystic Shot. Here, I at least want to get in the space to where if he wants to take down our unit with Mystic Shot, he has to trade away one of his units in the process. Victor on board. We can drop Yeti here, but it's so close to being much more mana efficient. Let's drop Castaway, see if we can't get it up to 4 attack.
You can fix anything with anything. I'll prove it.
At least leaves us in a pretty decent space as well. Next turn we can play Yeti and Jax, still have Troll Chant back up. I dig it. Lifesteal and Victor. There's an argument just to go for the Cultist since we can play the Ancient Yeti for so cheap here in the near future, but I think I still feel good about getting... Well, I guess Jax isn't a fantastic attacker in the face of Victor.
This would be a good winter.
Sure. And we gotta bring the whole squad. We gotta start wearing down this board. We're gonna have enough stuff to spend our mana on anyways, so it's not horrible. But he's gonna get like a Victor block onto our Troll, a 2/3 onto our Hookmaster, kill off the Fancier, then we punch in for 5 with the Yeti. It's not awesome, but it's a start. give you some of those sweet, sweet heals, Ancient Yeti. Alright, Castaway in. We can go for stats now. We're just going to try and make a giant overwhelm play on the next turn. He's out of mana, so if he hits like quick attack or if he hits elusive, then we're going to lose this game right now. But if he can't attack with Victor this turn, then we have a pretty decent shot on the next turn. Alright, Acorn. Right, so now we're going to have our whole board with Overwhelm. I guess the Cultists won't have Overwhelm, but maybe we should have saved our pan for the Cultists. That's probably a mistake. See ya, Jax.
Let the matriarchs and their legends die.
Probably a little sloppy, but I still don't think we're going to be able to stop this. The 7 attack life-stealing Victor. We'll attack a little to big. Cultist to the right. He just gains way too much health off of this thing. Okay. Well, I know what you all are thinking at home is bust. You still got a chance to draw your Warden of the Tribes, and my goodness, you were right. You were spot on. We'll see what he turns up. This game's done. Let's be real. Let's be real. I guess we'll let this guy have his moment of fun here, but this game's done. All right, sure. All right, well, that was fun. GG. And so, not a bad set of battles. I mean, we weren't totally successful in terms of getting our Warden of the Tribes on board, but, you know, there's a decent collection of cards here. That's something kind of interesting to think about as well in terms of how do we use the subtypes thing if this kind of card turns up again in the future. And so, if, you know, Riot says, hey, we want the tribal thing to be a thing, then you know, we'll kind of keep in the back of our heads the Weapon Masters, the Cultists, the Darkens. We have that kind of combo of things that we can do. And otherwise, you know, it's a reasonably successful strategy, and just fitting in these good units and having the Unforgiving Cold run along with them. But I think the thing I will say is I was actually quite impressed with the Ice Veil Cultist. I had pretty low expectations with this thing, but we did have a lot of games to where it was extremely relevant, and we basically had our entire team equipped. And so I think that's another kind of interesting thing to keep in the back of your mind, that this combo of using the Weapon Masters plus Freylord with the Ice Veil Cultist is something to potentially work towards. If the format, I mean, I don't like it in the current format so much, given that I don't think that you can play stat-based value decks into Seraphine. You just lose every time. But depending on how the meta shakes up, or a meta 6 months from now, or after a rotation, you know, there's a lot of opportunities for these Weapon Masters plus the Cultist plus whatever equipped cards come out in the next set to potentially pull off a nice little deck here. And so, you know, even though you're playing for funsies sometimes, doesn't mean you can't learn anything along the way. I think this was a good experience. I had fun with it. I hope you did too. Is that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope you Warden both the tribes and the North. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.